Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining me for the practice today. My name is Ashish and I'll be taking you through a very hopefully energizing practice. The practice that I have planned today is one very close to me. I do a lot of work seated and standing, but in one area, especially with the work from home that we've got these days. Movement in the offices was different because we'd be moving back and forth, and so there's been some movement. Now as we spend more time working from home, the area of motion, the flexibility has shifted, and I know for myself, I tend to see my hips and my lower back getting a bit more stretched and tensioned, and so this practice is especially dear for me. I designed it so that it would, it can help me, and I'd love to share that with you for your own benefit as well. So, and that was the intention of the practice. I want to ensure that we can bring stability to our lower back and hips. With that, the muscles that we're targeting are obviously the hips, the lower back, our glutes, the hamstrings, our quads, pelvis, the knees, abs, and there's a lot more. With our spinal structure as it sits, there are different areas of energy pockets we call chakras, and so this practice targets the Muladhara, the root chakra, the Swadisthana, the sacral chakra, the Manipuri, the solar chakra. Those are shifted the most, and then we're followed by the Anahata, or the heart chakra, and then the Sahasrara, the crown chakra. So a lot of movement, a lot of energy movement flowing through, and as we shift the energy from the base, which is a lot of it is stored in our Muladhara or the root chakra, as we go into the different asanas, we'll be shifting a lot of energy. So tension packets will feel released. You'll also see that we have a lot of emotion that sits in our pelvis area, in our hips area, and our lower thighs and our back. There's a lot of emotion that sits there. So you may notice emotion shifting. My only encouragement to you is let those emotions flow, let the tension packets flow out, go listen to your body, go with the flow, and I'm sure you'll be able to enjoy the practice and take fruit from it, and hopefully you come back to the practice and continue with it, because repetition is key. We sit repeatedly, we sit every day, and so getting that motion to assist with our emotion is also very important. So what is emotion? Emotion is energy in motion, and so by shifting it, we will be shifting our emotions to taking a positive outlook on life, or maybe not. And so these are things that come up that we have to work through as we work through a yoga practice. A yoga practice is not just about the body, but it is the mind, body, and soul. And so with that, I hope to share this practice with you, and my intention is for you to lead a more fuller and quality life. With that, I'll ask us to set our intention for the practice, and let's rub our hands together. And as we rub our hands together, bring our hands to the heart. You're welcome to close your eyes. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in again. Exhale. And let's take a few deep cycles of this breath cycle. The idea here is we're trying to slow down our parasympathetic nervous system to allow us to breathe and slow down our mind to get the full benefit of the practice. So let's breathe in slowly. And exhale slow. At the next cycle, I'm going to introduce a new concept of breathing in till we count to 8, holding for 4, exhaling slowly to 8, exhaling completely, holding for 4, and continuing that cycle. So at the next exhale, just take a pause and let's begin breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in completely and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slowly to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale completely and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale fully and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale completely and hold to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. We went through a slower cycle, and I'm going to encourage you to take 2 more cycles of breath by yourself, counting in your own minds at your pace. And the next exhale, let's bring our hands to the knees and just take a regular breathing cycle. On the exhale, we'll begin seated shoulder rolls. And for that, I'll encourage you to raise your shoulders as you breathe in, roll them forward, exhale, and breathe out. Bring your shoulders up, breathe in, roll forward, exhale slowly, breathe out. Listen, this is your practice. You may feel like you may want to go with one shoulder at a time. Listen to what your body is saying and go along with it. At the next exhale, on the inhale, we'll flip directions. So we'll roll forward, breathing in. On the backwards, exhale and come down. You might find the tension pockets in your neck shifting. Next inhale, next exhale, come centered. We'll begin neck bends to the left and the right. We'll start with breathe in, Shift the head to the left. Hold it gently and extend out a bit more if you're comfortable with it. So we're just pulling down on the right side. We're pulling down our head to the left side gently and breathing. Remember to keep sitting straight. Breathe in and out. Center, and we'll go to the other side. Bring our right hand over. Let's bring our head and pull it gently, just a little touch to the right. Sitting straight and breathing. Let go and come centered. From here we'll move into cat-cow. For cat-cow, two very important things. One, you'll be placing your hands on the floor, on the mat. As you place your hands on the mat, remember your wrists have a lot of bones in them and they're very fragile. So when you put pressure on, you want to put on all your fingers. Very important that you put equal pressure on all your fingers so you do not damage your wrist. So let's come on to our fours. We'll bring our hands to the mat. Bring the tops of our feet to the mat with knees on the ground. And a flat top position. Your spine is parallel to the ground. If this is not available to you and your knees are talking to you, feel free to take a blanket. Put the blanket underneath. It gives it some comfort. That's why I always keep this blanket here. Sometimes we have different days than other days, so that helps. And sometimes my knees and my tops of my feet need that too. So we have comfort there. Okay. Since the back is flat, we begin by, remember the hands flat on the ground, equal pressure on all. We begin by dropping our belly and breathing in. You'll notice tension around your lower back, tension around the top, and you'll start to feel some energy shifting. Breathe in, exhale, round to the top. Breathe in, drop your belly. Exhale, curve to the top. A few more cycles. Remember, this is your practice. Go at your pace. I urge you to go slow so you feel the movement. According to Ayurveda, we are in what is called a Vata season, which is fall season, where we're buzzing all over the place. As we buzz all over the place, our mind races all over the place too. To counterbalance that, we move with slow breathing and slow movements to bring more balance in our lives. Let's steady, flat top at the next exhale. Just come to a flat top. And we'll come into a child's pose or balasana. Knees could be hip width apart, and we will bring our forehead to the ground. Arms to the back. Tops of our hands resting on the mat. And breathing. Remember, actively breathing.
Fill yourself up. Empty yourself out. Slowly we'll walk ourselves out of Balasana by bringing our hands to the front of the mat, lifting our forehead slowly off the ground, shifting our weight forward onto our hands back into tabletop position, bringing our feet to the mat and coming into standing pose or Tadasana, our mountain pose. And while we do so, I encourage you to roll up slowly. So we're just in forward fold right now. I encourage you to bring your hands to your elbows and just give it a swing from left to right. Knees with a micro bend. You could be straight, but it doesn't have to be. You could be in a micro bend and give your knees a little TLC there. And slowly begin to rise up, vertebrae by vertebrae. As you rise up, you're breathing in.
Full breath at the top. Standing in Tadasana. Let's take a deep breath in by taking our hands above the mat, our heads above our head. And then folding back down into a forward fold.
Uttasana. From here, we'll go into a downward facing dog, followed by a crescent low lunge. So we're in forward fold right now. We'll take our hands to the top of the mat, our feet to the back, and walk ourselves out into a downward facing dog. As we're in downward facing dog, knees may be micro bend, or we might be walking them out. I encourage you to walk them out. Any muscles that are straining, any ankles that need to be shifted could be shifted during that. And from here, we'll take our right leg up to the air and swing it forward, moving into our low lunge. For the low lunge, we're got our right foot planted on the mat. Bring our right hand over the right knee, and slowly raise ourselves up, taking our hands over our body. If you fall, catch yourself. Low lunge. From here, we'll move into Warrior 1. From Warrior 1, we'll move into Warrior 2, which is our hands are parallel to the ground. Then we'll move into Peaceful Warrior. Take our right hand over our head, left hand rested on the back of our left thigh. Extending our front here and breathing into the front. Slowly bring your right elbow over your right knee, extend your left hand over your head, and come into a side angle. From our side angle, we'll come into our extended angle, slowly, by straightening out our right leg, and then taking our right hand to the ankle, over to the ground, and our left hand up into the sky. Gaze can be either down by the foot
parallel to the ground or to the sky. And as we get into this deep twist, you may feel your spine move. You may feel energy shifting again. Now you may not all the way be here. You may have a micro bend in your knee, and that's okay too. You may be flat, you may be straight, or a micro bend. And then come back out. To come back out, we'll bring our hands to the mat. Take our right leg to the back and go into our chaturanga, first chaturanga. Breathe. Exhale as you come down. Bring the tops of your feet to the mat. Cobra. Forward lunge. Downward facing dog on the exhale. And we'll move to the other side. Take your left leg up. Move it forward into a low lunge. Ease yourself into the low lunge. Make sure if you need to use a prop, you use a prop. If you need to come back holding up your knees, you hold it up on your knees. And we come into warrior one. From warrior one, we'll come into warrior two by bringing our right heels to the ground and our arms parallel to the mat. Breathe in. As you breathe in, flip your left hand. We'll come into peaceful warrior. Extend yourself forward and bring your right hand on the back of your right knee with your left arm extended over your head and looking back, and you're breathing here. Slowly we'll come into our extended side angle, bringing our left elbow to the left knee, right hand over our head, and remembering to breathe slowly. From here we'll come into our extended angle. Straighten that front foot if you can, if it's available to you. If not, it could be a micro bend. Extended angle. You'll have your left hand by your left ankle, right hand upwards, or you could be down, whatever is comfortable for you. Gaze could either be down, parallel to the ground, or looking up to the sky. And you're breathing here. You might feel your body shaking at any point. That's a good sign. That means your body is uncomfortable and it's able to still support you. If at any point you need to bow out, all you do is bring yourself back to the mat. From here, we'll come back into our child's position. So bring your toes together, knees mat width apart, bring ourselves down and go for a small rest. Bring our head to the mat, hands forward, and we're breathing in. At the next exhale, we'll think about moving into our next pose,
which is a lizard pose. So for the lizard pose, we'll take an inhale and move our torso to the front. Bring our knees together. Raise ourselves up to a tabletop. From there, we'll just get situated, flatten out our back, bring our elbows back to the ground. Hands can be clasped or straight, and we'll extend our feet and come up onto our toes. So this is a great example of a lizard pose. A difficult pose too, because you're breathing gently. We're moving into the lizard pose. We'll come back with our knees to the ground. We've given a taste of what the spine is going to feel. So we'll bring our left leg, bring it to the ground. Okay. Now for the lizard pose, the idea is we are going to get our back straight, and there is going to be tension. So as we bring that tension, we felt that tension earlier. And so as we bring this tension earlier, your hands may be here, which is fine. If you're able to, you bring your hands down to the ground. Your foot may shift, as mine has shifted, to the sides of to the side of the foot, which is normal and okay. So this is your lizard pose. And as you come into this lizard pose, you're bringing calm and peace to your mind. Your muscles are feeling tensed. It's okay to bring your knee down if that's too much of a stretch. But the idea here is we are working on our hamstrings. So the hamstrings will get stretched. They will feel uncomfortable. But do so being safe. As we are stretching here in lizard pose, the next what we'll do is bring our knee to the ground, bring ourselves up on our hands, take our left leg and move it to the left side of the mat, bringing the knee to the ground. And as we bring the knee to the ground, you may need a blanket to support yourself. You can support yourself, bring the blanket in between, so you're resting on your pelvis, and feel free to bring yourself down on the mat. As you do so, you'll feel tightness. As you come into a sleeping swan pose, you'll feel tightness. Let yourself go. Bring your forehead to the mat. Rest completely. It's all about feeling safe, comfortable with the practice, and feeling safe in your environment. Slowly lift yourself back up, and we'll take it to the other side. So we'll begin again with that stretch. So we understand what the stretch is going to be. Bring our knees to the ground. Hands to the mat as if you're in tabletop. Bring our right leg forward. As you bring our right leg forward, your hands can be either on the mat or your elbows on the ground, and your knee either rested on the mat or lifted up, whichever makes you feel comfortable. Your left foot will automatically move to compensate for your asana. As you're in this position, you're breathing. Breathing in and out, slow, deep breaths. You may be here, and that's okay too. You may be with your knee on the mat. Slowly take your knee to the mat, your hands to the mat, and slide your right leg over to the left side of the mat. If you need that blanket, again slide it in between your pelvis so that you can rest on it easier. If not, bring your forehead to the ground slowly as you can, supported by your hands. And let every muscle in your body relax. As you let every muscle in your body relax, you will feel strain. Don't think about the strain, just relax. Again, do it safely. If you feel sharp pains, move yourself slowly out of the position. If you need to support yourself with a mat, with a blanket, please do so. Let's bring ourselves out slowly from this practice. Raise our forehead slightly, slowly. Come up to our elbows. Bring our hands to the mat.
Feel free to stretch your hands out. This is actually half pigeon pose. The fully extended pose was your full pigeon pose. So from your half pigeon pose, we will come back up to our knees. To bring up to our knees, slowly bring our left knee forward. Turn our right foot and push ourselves into all fours. And let's come rested on our heels. Done quite a bit of movement on our hamstrings. Give it a moment of rest. Perfect time to take a sip of water if you feel you need a sip of water. From here we'll move into a low lunge. So for the low lunge, we will come back with our feet to the ground, hands to the mat. Right foot forward, left leg extended out, and bring our hands above our head. And we're breathing in. We're countering what we moved earlier. Let's bring our hands back to the mat and shift to the other side. So bring our right knee on the mat, left leg forward, and let's take our hands above our head. And breathing in. Remember not to jam yourself too much forward, because that's just giving a lot of pressure on your torso, which it doesn't need. So from here, just come into forward fold. Come into forward fold.
You might feel your spine move, shift, with vertebrae shifting in there too. From here I encourage you to come into Muladhara, which is garland pose, and I am just going to shift here so that you can see what that looks like. You're perfectly fine mat width apart, or as comfortable as you can be. So as I've got my legs moved, my feet planted apart, we've got a good base, got a good structure, I feel supported. I will bring my hands to the mat. You may be here, you may be there, And you start to lower your glutes slowly to the ground. And as you lower your glutes slowly to the ground, you're resting in a seated position. Your elbows are inside your knees, and you slowly start to push away at them, bringing your hands together. You may be here, you may be able to push further away, you may need to adjust your heels a bit. But at the end, at the end for the Malasana, you're seating, looking up, straight spine, looking forward with your hands at your heart. And you're giving a lot of pressure here, extensions to your hamstrings, the inner sides of your thighs are getting a good workout right now. Listen to what your body is saying at all times and be mindful of what you are feeling. From here, we'll slowly walk ourselves out, bring our hands back to the mat, and we'll shift onto our glutes. We'll come into a seated forward fold. So for that, we'll first come into Dandasana, which is our seated. You're seated with your spine vertical to the ground, as straight as can be. Picture an L. That's what an L on the ground, with the longer side on the ground. From here, take a deep breath. Exhale. On the next inhale, we'll raise our hands up. Now, your knees may be down, and the backs of your knees may be down. They may be slightly, you might have a micro bend. Whatever your body needs, it'll tell you. You might want to put a blanket underneath. That's okay too. As you raise your hands above and you breathe in, on the exhale, try and touch your toes, your shins, your knees, whatever is available to you as you bend forward. And we come back to a seated on the exhale. On the inhale, breathe back in, hands to the top, and let's go back down. Try and touch either the toes, the ankles, the shins, the thighs, the knees, whatever is available to us. Key is you want to try and keep your back as straight as you can. From here, we'll lay down and we'll bring ourselves into a bridge pose. As we're laying ourselves down, let's take a minute to, just a few seconds here, to take a deep breath in and out. To come into bridge pose, let's bring our feet planted next to our glutes. Right leg to the right glute, left leg to the left glute. We're planted. And you may not be very close, you may be far, that's okay. Slowly start to raise yourself as far as you can go. The idea is to flex the spine in the opposite direction of where we just flexed it. So you may be able to clasp your hands, if it's available to you, clasp your hands under the spine and point the shins, face the shins towards the front of the mat with your chest rising to the top. Your eyes are looking straight up, so you're not crunching your neck, but they have an openness at the neck. Breathe in and breathe out. On the exhale, lower yourself down to the mat, and we'll come into our final position, which is our most difficult position, Shavasana. People laugh when I say it's the most difficult position. Shavasana is where we rest and allow the fruits of our labor to provide nutrition to our body. As we do so, we also want to calm our minds. And this is the point when you're resting, thoughts flow through your mind. And that's okay. But remember, it's your time, it's your practice. The thoughts, the to-do lists can all wait. Move those to the side and allow yourself this time to rest and be thoughtless. Hands can be either facing down to the mat or upwards towards the sky, and rest. If you like, you can take a blanket, cover yourself up down. Let everybody, every muscle in your body, every part of your body, just let go. Rest on the mat. And as you rest, the mind starts to wander. If it's available to you, keep an eye, keep a gaze at your third eye. That'll help to focus the mind. As thoughts come through, let them pass. Observe them, don't engage, let them pass. We'll take care of that later. This is my time. Because this is a timed recording, I will encourage you to stay as long as you're able to enjoy the fruits of the labor. When you're done, I encourage you to start moving your toes and your fingers. Bring your hands together. Rub your palms, rub your hands, bring some heat. Welcome to rub your bottom of your feet as well to generate some heat. Place your palms over your eyes to provide some heat, the warmth to your eyes. Your eyes will appreciate it. Slide your hands down a bit just to get into the cusps of your palms so you can open your eyes and not let the harsh light shock your eyes. Slowly, let's bring yourself into a seated position, easy position. You may want to flip to the side. Use your hands to bring yourself up. Come into a seated position. Bring your hands together. Take a deep breath in. A deep breath out. Another deep breath in. A deep breath out. Thank ourselves for coming to the mat, for spending this time on the mat, for following through with our intention of providing ease to the hips, to our lower back, the midsection,
releasing that tension. Hopefully you feel the same way. Hopefully you'll continue this practice on your own. You can come back and re-watch the video just to guide you through. Let's thank ourselves for coming to the mat and be grateful for the Guru within us. Namaste.